Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning. Well, it's still morning. I'm saying good afternoon. No, good morning. I hope you guys are just having a super great day. My name is Michelle Lenore, and I am here to talk to you guys about the WOSB. And Michelle, what does that stand for? That stands for Woman Owned Small Business. This is a minority certification that only women can get. So hopefully you guys were able to catch my episode yesterday as I was talking about DBE, and pretty much DBE stands, well, not pretty much, but DBE stands for Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. Again, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, DBE. And so with the DBE, if you're considered as disadvantaged according to the federal government, this pretty much means that that you are first. If you're a female, you are considered as disadvantaged. Let's see. I look like I'm having trouble with my camera. Let's see here. Okay, there we are. I don't know what's going on with my camera. It just popped off. And so hopefully you guys were able to catch the information when I talked about your being a disadvantaged business. First, you're a female, and then a person of color. So any and everybody pretty much will fall underneath that particular certification, except for white males. And so with white males, they would not qualify for that. Today we are going to talk about the woman-owned small business and economic advantage woman-owned small business. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you're doing a replay, then I will check out your questions a little later. So woman-owned small business is with that is pretty much again any woman who is established as a citizen of the U.S. Or if you are a permanent resident. So you would already know if you're a permanent resident. If you're not sure, then that's a whole nother conversation that I cannot help you out with. They do check to ensure that you do have a license, depending on what you give them. Sometimes they ask for your birth certificate, or they may ask for your passport. So these are just different things that they're asking for. Other things that they are asking for, in fact, I will share my screen with you guys, which is really, really cool. Other things that they will ask for is a resume. Now, I know that we talked about resumes yesterday. Resumes are within any certification, they ask for your resume. So things that you absolutely need, you need a resume. You may say, but Michelle, I am a small business owner. I don't need a resume. You do need a resume. And you need your resume to pretty much show and establish that that you are the leader, that you are the head, that you are the executive of this particular company. If you're not showing that, then guess what? They're like, okay, so you're really, you really don't have what they're talking about, and someone else is taking care of your business, So again, you have to have a resume. So if you guys are like thinking like, okay, Michelle, I need help with the resume, then hey, I'm here to absolutely help you guys with that, with your resume if you don't have one, or if you need to go ahead and get one updated. All right, so I am also going to show you, let me see. All right, there we are. I'm not sure if I can make that bigger. Nope, that's okay. So another thing that is being asked for, of course, I talked about your taxes. You need to have your taxes. Have you filed your taxes, your personal taxes, in the last 3 to 5 years. If you have not filed your personal taxes in the last 3 to 5 years, you want to get on that right away. This goes across not only the government certifications, this goes across any minority certification that's out there. They want to make sure that you're not trying to get the certification and you're worth, your personal net worth is like $30 million or $3 million. Again, there are some stipulations per certification. You can end up leaving out of one certification, going into another, qualifying for another certification. And then, but that's all talking about the ones outside of the government. So we're going to stick with the government because government has plenty. Also, the government wants to know about your assets. What assets do you have out there? And so, the assets that you have out there, they want to know about them. They want to know what's happening, what's going on within the assets that you have. So you may be asking, like, Michelle, now, you're talking about these government certifications. How can it absolutely help me? How can it grow my company? And that's a very good question. So one of the things that the government looks at, they look at, if you guys ever heard of a disparity study, those are done throughout the states, different states. It's done within different cities and different regions and things like that. And they really, really look at, like, what do we have a need of? And who can we ask? Like, what is going on? It's like, who can we get to do this? And where are people getting pushed out at? Or even they look at, where have women small businesses really, really thrive? So I do have a list. It's for the list of the most used, also acceptable NICS codes. So yesterday we talked about NICS codes, right? And so with those NICS codes, you have to have the right NICS codes. Believe it or not, within any certification, if they do not have a need for what you do according to your NICS code, you want to research that. So when I say that you need to take your time and research it, then you really, really want to do that. Of course, I do that in my workshops. We go through to make sure that you're picking the correct NICS code. And then to help you stay in the game, you need to pick at least 3 to 5 NICS codes, just in case, as I call it, you age out, of that particular program. Also within the WOSB, that they have a whole list of NICS codes that are out here, and they have a breakdown, which is really great. They have a breakdown for the WOSB, and then they have more of a breakdown for the EDWOSB, which is economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business. Now you're like, wow, Michelle, that was just a lot. It is. And so they want things to be fair. For, the more money you make, then you begin to get put into another pool. So if you don't make a whole lot of money, then they begin to shrink the pool for you. And today, one of the NICS codes that I came across was for beauty. So beauty, they really have opportunity for you guys. And I'm going to give you that NICS codes for my beauty people. And that one is both needed for DBE and it's needed for the WOSB and the EDWOSB, especially for the EDWOSB. And that NICS code is 812112. Okay. So if you're saying, like, how can the government use my beauty supplies, beauty services, beauty products, anything beauty? So first, if you've ever looked up that the beauty industry is worth, the last time I looked was, somebody told me it was close to like 58 billion. Somebody else told me 251 million. I believe it's more in the billions. I'm just saying. And it continues to grow because if you've ever made a beauty product Then men are really getting into their beards, into their mustaches, into their sideburns. That's growing for the beauty within the beauty industry. Also, I know back in the day, they used to call them toupees for the men. Now they're called men. I think they're called man units. I think I got that right. So again, the beauty industry begins to grow. And, so the more that you do in the beauty industry, first of all, if you have a trade, that's important. The government needs that. The other thing is if you have a product, the government needs that. And then if you have a program, the government needs that. So we're going to first talk about the trade. So when I say the government needs what you have within the beauty industry, there is a lot of bases that are out there, military bases, that sometimes some of them, I would say most of them, the ones I've been in, my daughter, she's in the military. So every time I went, there was like a beauty and barbershop, but people would be like waiting outside to get things done. They're like, oh my gosh, like we got to get back. So so what the government does, they contract outside of who's ever in that space. So not only do they contract that space, because you do not have to be in the military, you do not have to be a veteran to actually have a space on base. Okay. And then also what they have special days, like maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays are your days. You're there, you and other individuals are there who works with your shop. You're there on, say, Mondays and Fridays. I don't know which your busiest days, or maybe you usually are closed on Sundays, so you're there on Sundays and Mondays on the base, cutting hair, doing hair. So you're making money every day of the week. So those different contracts are out like that. The other contracts that are out is that when the submarines come up from the Navy, then they've been submerged for months. Some of the services that they need different individuals for hair, for nails, and for makeup. And they have those particular requests within contracts. So if you know that you're near a military base and it's the Navy, again, I don't know where all the bases are at, but that's where the Navy's at. And you can tell, especially if you have a business, when they come ashore, right? Any business you have, this is great also for food trucks. This is great for, I saw a contract for shining shoes. So anything that that perhaps that they need, maybe it's time for them to do their taxes. Now, even though that they have individuals to help them with their taxes, that maybe they don't want to go to those individuals. Maybe they need their taxes done right now. I'm thinking about taxes because it's tax season. What are things that they need? They need dry cleaning, right? And so do you have a dry cleaning service that you can go up and say, okay, you can get your uniforms done because this is busy season for them. Are you on their calendar? Okay. Do you know when they do stuff, right? So if you have these, if you plan ahead, I'm gonna let you guys know that you are going to make big money. And so the last thing I'm going to talk about are the programs. So if you have a program and you are in the beauty industry, oh my gosh, well, I would say any part, you can really clean up. I know I spoke a little bit about yesterday about I saw a contract out in Texas that was asking for not just a barber shop, but they were asking for a barber shop program. So they particularly said a barbershop program because they wanted the individual to go ahead, teach the trade, but then they also wanted them to teach the inmates who were about to come out how to construct and grow a successful business. So you may say, Michelle, where does money come into that? Money comes in so many ways. So if you have your own product within the beauty or the barber industry, that whoever you're teaching within that program, you can sell them your product. Your product can be in their establishment. And not only do they use the product on the clientele, they can sell that same product to the clientele. Okay. So again, this can be used within the government program. You can make that a part of your program that your product needs to be used, right? So you're helping them not only with establishing a business. So within that program, you're getting paid for that particular program, right? So when the facilities, when the prisons, when the boys' homes, when the girls' homes, when the homeless shelters are seeing that you have this particular program, they're willing to invest in you. And like different shelters, not all of them are ran by the government, but the thing is that the ones that are, you can pretty much present your program to them. So again, this is like the gift that keeps on giving. And then if your program, of course, is going to be successful, right? So if your program is successful, then by word of mouth, you begin to grow your business within that region or within that state. So it doesn't have to stop at the prisons. It can stop at the homeless shelters. It can go to the foster homes. This is the same product or program that you can use within those particular facilities. Okay. So one of the questions that I get is like, okay, Michelle, um, I'm married, I'm 50%, and my husband is 50%. Do I qualify for the WOSB? No, you do not. You do not. It has to be 51% or more woman owned, woman controlled. Okay. And so you want to be really careful about also about your finances. They most definitely look at you and your husband's finances or your partner's finances. So if it's a brother and a sister, so usually brother and sister, you guys are not sharing finances. With married couples, you are brother and sister not sharing finances. She's 51%, he's 49%. They will see if he had given money to start the business, which is nothing wrong with that. But if he gave a large amount and he's controlling certain parts of the business, this can also boot you out from getting this WOSB. So again, you have to be at least 51% owner of the business, controlling the business. Okay. You and your husband, it cannot be shown as 50-50. Again, if they see that looks like that is 50-50, then it's like you can't get in. So another question that I got was, Michelle, what if I change from 50-50 to my wife being 51% and me being 49%? Sometimes they will take a look at your information and will not allow you to get that certification until a couple of years afterwards to ensure that is a true change. Sometimes, they were finding that once people heard about the 51%, they were like, oh, okay, my wife's going to be on, and then I can go ahead and get these certifications, and found out she really was not the one who was controlling the company. All right. So you want to make sure that she's controlling the company. And before you sign up for the WOSB, you do have to register in sam.gov. That is SAM.gov. You have to go through all of the processes for sam.gov. And then after that, once you get registered, that usually takes, I would say maybe about a week or two. So if you're looking to bid on a contract, get started right away. If you have everything that you need, if you know that you meet the qualifications within being a WOSB or a EDWOSB. But again, the registration for SAM.gov in itself takes about 2 weeks. Now, for WOSB to get certified, that can take anything from 90 days plus. Okay, so be prepared. And so while you're prepared, that you can let others know that you've registered to be certified as WOSB or EDWOSB, but now you're waiting. You can give them your information showing that you actually have that you're in the queue, that you're waiting, but that does not make you WOSB. And WOSB knows it. They'll send you a notification telling you that that you are not this. Myself, I am certified as a WOSB, and using that certification throughout the whole nation. So it does cover the nation. You only have to do it once. That's very different than the DBE. DBE, you first have to get certified within your state, and then you have to do interstate certification. Okay. So if you, again, are in the beauty industry, there are contracts out there for you. Guess I was looking within the SAM.gov system, and guess who I saw? We all heard of L'Oreal, right? So a lot of these big companies, they are registered with the government. They are doing business with the government. Now, you may not see their name L'Oreal because they have a lot of white labels, right? And they may change the formula a little different, the lotion, the facial stuff, whatever it is that they're giving them, that they may change the formula just a little bit, but they white label everything. So it's not well known that large companies like that actually do business with the government. So within the beauty industry, if L'Oreal is one of your, like, oh my gosh, I wish I could work with them, or I wish I could work with Revlon, then you want to do research to see if they are doing business, or what type of business that they're doing with the government. They most definitely want to connect with you because you will be certified. Again, within these contracts, there are some set asides that only people like me who are certified, who are the WOSB, I am the only one with this type of certification that I can bid on this contract. Now, I may realize this contract, I'm like, maybe I don't have the experience. Again, if I'm in the beauty industry, I'll reach out to someone within L'Oreal and say, I'm very interested in partnering with you. There's opportunity, but you don't say that all of a sudden. You need to establish that relationship with that large company that you're interested in. Okay. So, and also FEMA is always looking for beauty partners. Yes, I said FEMA. When we think of disasters, maybe we're only thinking about water. So by the way, if you're in the food industry, make sure you sign up for FEMA. That's another one. But today we're talking about WOSB. So within FEMA, if you've ever looked at the Red Cross, if you ever looked at any other thing, what people are always asking for, even the church that you attend, they're like, okay, we're going to do a package. So if you ever looked at the package that a church is going to give to that particular community that has been hit, then guess what they're giving? They're usually giving soap, they're giving toothpaste, they're giving lotion, they're giving different things that we know that we need for our day to day. Guess what? FEMA is the same way. And because people are very health conscious, they look for natural products. So that was another question I got. Michelle, do they need my natural products? Yes, they need your natural products. They need products that they can either be done by you, which is in a controlled environment, of course, or you can white label things that has your name. They need these things. And sometimes, just to make people feel good, they may ask for lip gloss or some lip balm or something like that. Again, when we think of beauty, fingernail file, a little thing of nail polish, or a little makeup kit. Another big thing, because you guys are in the beauty industry, hand sanitizer. You know how to get to hand sanitizer. You know how to do the gloves. So it doesn't always have to be beauty. The name they gave it was the PPP, any type of PPP supplies. You have access to these things at a very low cost, at a very low rate. So again, it's not always the beauty piece, as we consider beauty, but what are some of the supplies? One of the contracts that I saw out there when it was, oh my gosh, it was just a terrible disaster, was they actually wanted beauticians or individuals who know how to wash hair. People didn't have the opportunity to properly take a shower. So of course they asked for portable showers. So what's in those portable showers? Shampoo, conditioner. So again, the list goes on and on and on, so they ask for portable sinks. If you have access to those portable sinks, this is an opportunity to grow your business. So your business just doesn't have to stay within North Carolina. It doesn't just have to stay within California, but be prepared for those different opportunities that are happening across the nation. And are you ready? So again, like I said, it takes a while to get this certification, but it is well worth it. Again, these are set asides, just set and ready for you. Let's see, let me take a look at this question here. Okay, so this is the partnership question. What if there's 3 guys and 2 women? The percentage still has to be the same. If the percentage of women reaches that 51%, okay, that's one aspect of it. But how much of that are they controlling? All right. So again, you want to look at, again, not only the 51%, but who is controlling the business. All right. So that was a little bit about WOSB. I will be back next week. We will be talking about the different elements that actually is needed for each certification. Are you ready? Are you prepared? You guys hear me always talk about leadership resumes, capability statements, and of course, your taxes. Why the taxes? Why the taxes? So I will go into that next week. Y'all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to your questions. Bye-bye.